We are operating on a frequency of 52 megacycles by authority of the Federal Communications Commission. A test program follows. To you who've been trained technically, I need hardly say that there's still a number of problems to solve. I guess you know them as well as anybody knows them. But I think we've proceeded far enough to justify the statement, at least, that these technical problems are not insurmountable.
Good evening, everyone. Brett, say something, because I have an audio check. Welcome to the even more disorganised than last week's stream, though we were planning to be 15 minutes late.
I wasn't meant to be here.
And he wasn't meant to be here. I am having major bandwidth issues today, and I don't know why. So
maybe because you started downloading another game.
No, it's been happening all day, but actually that's probably why it's happening now. A second. It's downloaded already. What's your point? So, yeah, we're looking better. So, welcome to the end of the gap week for the playoffs. So, we are going to start from today. I've just updated the sheets. Playoff matches will be battled out this week. The winners will go to the upper cut. The lowest will go to the lower cut. So, if you're in the playoff two, if you're in playoff 2, you will then go through to, if you're in the top playoff, your winners go to the top cut, your losers go to second cut. If you're in the bottom playoff, winners go to second cut, losers go to third cut. We have most of the sets recorded, formats recorded. I think there's about 4 or 5 that are short, and we're going to randomly pick those if they're not done by the end of the stream. In the unlikely event that anyone's watching this and still needing to do it. The other thing is we are getting ready to reveal the next format next Tuesday. It's going to be an emotional format, but we'll get into the details of that when we get there.
There is one thing I can reveal about KOTE 10, and this is something that you don't even know yet.
There's many things I don't know yet.
KOTE 10, the second cut, so the second top cut, is going to be renamed the Sloppy Labwork cut. And they are going to provide 9 decks to the winners and 3 decks to the second place.
Wow, to the second cut. We better get a prize for top cut then at some point.
They wanted to make sure that people in second cut got prizes. So, second cut for KOTE 10 will have probably better prizes than the top cut.
Well, I could say, if nothing else with top cut, we can definitely have a box of AOA going to top cut. Because I've got one kicking around here we can have if need be.
I'm probably going to... I've asked Josie to knock up some KOTE 10 art for the playmats after the amazing art she's already shown us.
Yep.
I'm going to get that put into playmats like usual, as is traditional. I'm probably not going to spend out on the sleeves again. That was very expensive to try and get them here after Brexit.
Yeah, good old Brexit.
But definitely playmats. And we're now going to have to try and find some decks. Because Mr. Russell basically said, yeah, I want to sponsor second cut. I was like, yay, second cut.
Well, so I've got 2 AOA boxes I can throw in. So if nothing else, we can give you let's say six decks to second, 12 gets the first of AOA. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it takes 3 decks.
It could have a Jenka in it.
I've already X-rayed it. No, yeah, they're all still sealed, just to be clear. So yeah, we'll find out. We're interested to see what actually is in it. So, I mean, this is I'm completely fried because I've literally stopped working again 10 minutes ago.
Cool.
So we're going through, but I
I'm
mean,
fried because the sun is literally trying to kill us.
well, what else is it going to do? It's a hot ball of gas. What do you expect?
You're fine. Have you seen where the actual heat wave warning is?
It was here yesterday.
It is literally just around us today. So I'm from the north. I don't do well in heat.
I'm not from the north. I still don't do well in heat. There's not really anything else to say other than that.
Bring on the weekend thunderstorms.
Well, I wouldn't go that far either. I've just suddenly realised I don't actually have the slide deck ready. I need to show in a minute. But yeah, so we don't have a lot from contributors this week. Swindle is doing the usual thing at the weekend, I imagine. We've got qualifiers are now complete. KFPL 3.
I think Swindle have just done their event.
Oh, they just done?
Yeah, they just did the. I can't remember what it was. I saw it on there, so I don't know if it's this week or next week. KFPL have started Season 4 qualifiers, and they've just revealed the format for Season 3, which is the 5-set survival.
That's a lot of analytics they're going to get out of that.
Sounds very familiar to what we did many months ago.
That's all in the past.
Exactly.
We don't hold a copyright in any format. We're happy to share them around. What else to say? So yeah, I mean, apart from that, I mean, you've been playing a lot of Storybook Brawl.
I have.
Do you want to share some of your experiences there?
So, Storybook Brawl is a auto battler similar to Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and it's been made by Magic the Gathering pros that wanted to make an auto battler that felt like a card game, and that's what drew me in. It feels exactly like a card game, and they had their first set like pre-launch.
So that should be good now. Right, we're good. We're on. So this is in 2 years. This is the second time I've had to reboot midstream. Well, it took a year and 3/4, and the first time we've really had issues with OBS. So we are not going to have a featured game today. I think just because that crashed 3 times trying to load it into OBS, and I'll
much, yeah. Every time Chris tried to load up the featured game, it just crashed it. So it's going to be quite a bit shorter stream.
And
I did try to talk Chris into playing some games, but he's currently not in the headspace.
I am knackered from another insane group day of work. So yeah, my work is killing me. So we're gonna just jump straight into the metrics from Laptops. Oh, hi Ultima again. Glad to have you here. Glad to see we've got 7 people here. Even not tonight. Yeah. Great to have you back on board as well. Hopefully you'll be here for the quiz. So we're going to jump into the metrics once I've reloaded them up because I've done a complete restart. So Brett, dance for a second while I get this ready. Well, and talk. You can't just dance. It's not silent. You can't.
I can do one or the other. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show off this beautiful amber.
You do that, man.
What's this amber?
Right. Cool. Ooh, where's that from?
That's from the Shadows Organised Play Kit. It comes with mixture of amber, and then it comes with funky ward and enrage tokens.
That is useful. Shame they're still cardboard, but
yeah, it's a shame it's still cardboard. It often comes with one of these dudes.
Cool.
Which I absolutely love. Oh.
You do love your little dudes. Both the sun and the random sculpture thing. Right.
Seeing as Chris is still very busy here, I'm also going to go on a tangent about Space Jam 2.
Oh god. Go on then. Go on your tangent about Space Jam 2.
I loved it. I've seen so much hate for it, but I loved it. It was so self-referential. It incorporated pretty much everything that Warner Brothers owns. Pretty much everything is in there. It nodded to its past of actually doing this before. Rick and Morty make an appearance, which is completely out of nowhere.
Okay, I need to go and see the first one. Then my wife wants me to go and see the second one, so I'll look
You
at.
don't need to see the first one.
No, I do on no, but the principle here, man. You got to see them all.
I tell you what, if you want to watch the first one, but you want to do it in a strange way, you can watch Teen Titans Go watches Space Jam,
No,
which is the Teen Titans Go people characters watching Space Jam and adding their own commentary, which is how I found out that Bugs Bunny is named after the artist, and the artist called Bugs Malone drew a bunny, and it became known as Bugs' Bunny.
Wow. let's get going, man, on this. So we've got the breakdown this week of the adaptive data. And as ever, we're going to focus on this, but we're going to look at the winners versus losers. And what we've seen every week is this has been very much a flip, a mirror image. Every time we look at these, there's always opposites in the breakdown for deck compositions, and I found this is very, very surprising to me. That
the biggest consistent is winning decks have low upgrades and low artifacts.
Yeah, and not slightly. You're talking 10%. Oh, sorry, so there's only 3, but you don't get many artifacts. So what? High decks have 6. Realistically, you'll have 2. Sometimes you have 0. But yeah, I think this is very. Then we've got the creatures here as well, which is similar, and then actions similar, but obviously more actions, more creatures is what you need. Don't worry about the upgrades and the artifacts.
Upgrades I can see, but there are some very powerful artifacts.
But with the powerful artifacts, how many times is it just one card, or is it a set of cards that you need? I mean, I'm not saying it's never a set, but it's usually a set.
No, but there are some very powerful artifacts on their own. You look at the Pemp Seed, Screech Bomb can store for a turn by itself. Iron Obelisk from KOTE can be really good.
But again, that's one card. You don't generally have sets of artifacts you need sets of creatures for the combos.
No.
But I don't know. Moving on to the SAS metrics for adaptive short, we see the SAS to be identical, which is kind of what we would expect to see, because when you're picking the adaptive deck, you're generally going to go for the middle of the 3. The top one goes to Reversal, the weak one goes to Archon, and the rest and adaptive is the other one. So that gets me. The ARC, okay, it's slightly lower on the winners, but it's not low enough to be a difference.
Everything is exactly mirrored.
Well, but I mean,
you're talking a 0.2 difference in anti-synergy, you're talking a 0.1 difference in synergy, you're talking a 0.3 difference in raw amber. Adaptive decks, because we've got the smaller player pool, it seems that we have a lot of teams that seem to know what they want in this adaptive pool.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, what is interesting, should I phrase that? And here we get another. Again, it's not a strict mirror image, and there is actually a change here for once, for the first time in 6 of these graphs. Recursion is that recursion? Is disruption? Sorry, disruption is going up. I mean,
high disruption losing. That is very interesting, and high efficiency losing as well. That one I can understand short adaptive as to why efficiency and disruption are losing more the higher they go, because you're willing to pay a lot more chains on a deck you think is going to be fast or slow your opponent down.
Definitely, yeah. We should have put in a results where we say how many chains was the adaptive bid to, but
yeah, I was
hindsight.
See like an average chains on winners and average chains on losers.
But how do we do that if we don't ask for that data? So.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Oh yeah.
So win rates by expansion, again, this is a nicely across the board, and I've never seen Dark Tidings so
Dark
high.
Tidings!
I mean, Dark Tidings are in a better place in adaptive than anywhere else.
It's a newer set, so I imagine that's where a lot of people that haven't got that much experience with Dark Tidings are putting it, because you want to make sure you want to keep an eye on it. But it's not that far ahead. The mass mutation bit at the bottom is I think that would have been a lot higher if we hadn't asked for verification for us this time.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. So, moving on, win rates of houses and adaptive short. So, Logos, well, let's see, unfathomable this is the biggest shock here. Mars being so low is also a big shock here compared to what we saw previous weeks, where Mars was so high and Fable was non-existent. Bruckner's so high as well. I mean, Untamed the Shadows and Logos up there. Saurian, again, not too much, but the Bruckner, these three at the end here are the three that surprised me. But this, I wish we could plot this against the results for all the other two, because it's so different.
Unfathomable being high here makes perfect sense, but given its win rate on there.
Yep.
But the Bruckner to me feels like a lot of people doing what I'm doing when I play at the minute is bringing Worlds Collide Bruckner is really good, and people
Dismiss
sort
it.
of got into this mental state of they see Worlds Collide, they see Brobnar, and they just lower the guard and go, yeah, sure, let's put it into adaptive, let's put it into reversal because it's probably not going to be that good. Let's put it into Archon, let's put it into adaptive, it's probably not going to be that good. And the teams that are bringing it are like, this is our dark horse, this is the deck that will swing it for us if the other team don't know what they're looking at.
I mean, it's the house is sort of by popularity. So the Unfathomable is the least popular house, followed by Mars. I kind of wish we had that in here as well. But Logos is the most popular, and this is the second most. Yet you're more likely to lose. Yeah. All right. Shall we go on to the quiz? All right. So if
It's all about show adaptive.
So if your first time here, I'm surprised, but welcome. We have our weekly quiz. This quiz is 6 questions. These 6 questions.
Not tonight is saying they brought Worlds Collide Bromnight expecting the same thing I just said, but nobody fell for it. Yeah, I've been playing it in the Crucible when I've not been playing Stonebrick Brawl, and people are starting to come around on Worlds Collide Bromnight, especially against Dark Tidings. It's such a fighty house. It's really good. But point system, let's go.
So as ever for the quiz, it's 6 questions, probably this is, let's be fair, there are many guesses, but they're educated guesses of what we think we'll see. Jupiter aims to come last, everyone else aims to have a positive score.
Jupiter's aiming to win.
Oh, Jupiter's going to win today?
Yes, and it's fastest finger first, so the person that answers first and gets it correct gets the most points. The person that answers it first and gets it wrong gets the least amount of points. What is the most frequent common card in adaptive winning players' decks? Mark of Dis, Daughter, Infernus, Dextra. Mark of Dis, Daughter, Infernus, Dextra. And just like if people are wondering why I said I wasn't going to be here last week, but I'm here this week. One of the workers at my son's nursery caught COVID, so he's had to self-isolate for 10 days, which means I have to self-isolate for 10 days because I literally spend all my time with him. You can't click Jupiter? Anybody else have an issue?
I can't click now, but I can see it at least.
What was that? Oh, people jump in. Well, in the winning that, so Jupiter was correct with Furnace, gets 0 points for it. If you're having a bit of trouble, Jupiter, click the Clears Kit symbol on the side, and you should be able to manage your access. But one person went Daughter, one person went Dextra, one person went Furnace. Ultimo answered the first. If you're on your phone, you might struggle a bit more. But if you're on the computer, when on the desktop, when you hover over the stream, it'll come up with sound alerts and quiz kit on the right hand side. Let's see if Jupiter can get that fixed before we move on to the next question.
So just what we're doing, what feels like, we're not going to have a feature game this week, simply because every time I load it, OBS crashes. Apologies, we'll try and get this fixed for next week. So we're going to have this quiz, then we're going to go through the current standings, talk through the playoffs that'll be happening this week, and then we're probably going to finish early so I can go and fix some of the code behind the scenes for the playoffs. Or do some work, one or the other.
And if you've got any questions about KOTE 10, we will give you vague and very unhelpful answers.
I don't think you could do vague. It's a bit like a fish crossed with a trout on a horsey going through an acorn.
I can do vague and unhelpful answers. I just have to lie.
You can't. Tell the truth as you tried.
Yes, I can.
See, it's a lie.
Is it though?
Yes. Go on then. I think Jupiter's ready, man. Shall we give it a shot?
Yeah, sure. If you, I don't know if you said, but let's go. Next question. He's technically still winning. What is the most frequent uncommon card in adaptive winning players' decks? Nature's Call, Novo Dynamo, Perplexing, or Neurosiphon? Nature's Call, Novo, Perplexing, Neurosiphon. Some very good ones. I'm starting to come around on Novo Dynamo, especially if we've got an auto encoder.
Auto encoder makes everything better though.
Auto encoder makes everything better. Your opponent's playing subtle auto encoder makes that infinitely better.
Oh god, yeah.
2 people went for Neurosiphon, 1 person went for Nature's Call. The correct answer is Nature's Call.
So was Jupiter that third player?
Let's have a look. It was contestant number 6 is our third player, which I believe is the sign of Christoph, who is going to be in our featured game. Much to his little protest of, it's going to be a boring game. It's like, yeah, but I'm still recording it. But Not Tonight came in with the correct answer there.
Well done, Not Tonight, getting a positive score at this stage. So let's jump on. So we're going to give Jupiter...
So what is the most frequent rare card in adaptive wins? Skippy Time Hog, Zephos Agent 14, Stampede, or Ultra Graviton? I really wish they'd show up on my screen in the same order they show up on your screen. Woo, I can play. Why can I play?
I'm going to guess that one.
What? Why can I play when I've got the answers?
Well, same reason, not quite the same reason I can play, though I have the answers. But if you look carefully, you might be able to see the answers in the reflection behind me.
I should stop playing now to keep a positive score. 1 person went for Skippy Time Hog, 1 person went for Stampede, 3 people went for Ultra Graviton. One of those is me.
One of them is me.
Let's show the scores. KFBL Jupiter coming in with a minus 8,000. Contestant number 2, who could it be? With the correct answer. And Not Tonight coming in first. So Not Tonight coming in quite far ahead. Jupiter can catch up though, because we've still got 3 questions to go.
Easy to catch up. Easy to catch up.
So let's move into question number 4. What is the most frequent common card among adaptive losing decks? Infernus, Daughter, Markadis, or Dextra? Infernus, Dextra, Daughter, Markadis.
I'm actually going to have a go. I haven't looked at these answers. Now my playing here is genuine.
I have to look at the answers.
Yeah, you set them up.
I am being very unhelpful in the Discord.
In what way?
Mr. John Lang has tried to guess what KOTE 10 is, and I said he's getting closer, but also further away.
You, my friend, are a well-meaning arsehole. Well done, sir.
1 person went for Daughter, 1 person went for Infernus, 3 people went for Dextra. But as we saw when we were looking for the metrics, the decks that had disruption and efficiency quite high were the ones that lost the most.
That is true.
So Daughter is the correct answer here.
That was my second guess. I got Dexter wrong though.
What is the most frequent uncommon card in adaptive losing decks? Novo Dynamo, Perplexing, Neurosiphon, or Nature's Call. So the exact same options we had last time. But what is the most frequent uncommon card in adaptive losing decks? Novo, Perplexing, Neurosiphon, or Nature's Call? I wanted to get exactly 69 points, but I just missed out.
Oh.
I clicked just as the actual quiz ended. That's my goal now. 2 people went for Novo Dynamo and 2 people went for Neurosiphon. The correct answer is Neurosiphon. People stop shouting "yo" in my ear.
Yo.
Why can't I hear that?
Yo.
This is a bigger question.
Yo.
So, going into the final question. Contestant number 2 is the highest, with Not Tonight just behind, KFL Jupiter catching up. See Me and Ultima Fox bring up the rear. Last question. What is the most frequent rare card in Adaptive Losing Decks? Ultra Graviton, Ultra Graviton, Stampede, Skippy Time Hog, and Z-Force Agent 14. You can stop if you want, but it literally doesn't bother me. I have a 4-year-old. I can block out sounds like a champ now.
Oh, right. Where's YouTube right now?
Go for it.
So those wondering what I was just doing, I muted myself to the stream and just started saying yo to Brett for about 2 minutes straight. I'm in that kind of mood.
So, 2 people went for Ultra Graviton, 2 people went for Skippy Time Hog, and 2 people went for Z Agent 14. Making Ultra Graviton in the most frequent in all the winning decks and all the losing decks. Because efficiency sucks, apparently. So the final results, with a score of 41,477, the mysterious contestant number 2.
But the real winner goes to Not Tonight. The real winner here is Not Tonight. Jupiter coming in second. Ultimo Fox coming in a respectable at minus 87,000.
Ultimo wins the trophy there.
Not Tonight wins the other trophy. But yeah, so
I've had that argument with Jupiter. The fact that it's actually half. As a character, it's half of the creature count, but it's actually still 10 cards. So it does make sense. I've got some quizzes to delete.
Alright, so we're gonna go to.
While we're here, should we show off the KOTE 10 art? I have already put it on Discord. Some people might not have seen it who are here.
Sure. Give me 1 second just to get it queued up. I need to press the right button. So it's in Discord. So, what is the easiest way? Can you just, because I can't use Discord right now, can you just like ping it to me again? And I can in Discord.
On Discord or on Facebook?
Actually, you said to me on Facebook. Let me have a look at Facebook, then I can handle it. Because I rebooted, nothing's open. So give me a sec.
Because this is, again, Josie knocks it out of the park with this art every single time.
Yeah, oh, it's unbelievable. So we jump down to here, we just nick that one. Just get it into OBS image.
And then, bam, on the screen.
Downloads. There we go. There we go. Should be on the screen now.
Yeah, yes it is. Look at that. That is beautiful art. An evil twin running a Keyforge casino.
What else could you want from a Shadows?
So this is what has led people in the Discord to start trying to work out what the actual format is. And there's some really interesting stuff on there that people are saying, and some people are quite close, but they haven't seen the extra dimension of this here. They've got a lot of people are guessing around the first part, but haven't seen the second part. Haven't seen the third dimension of what KOTE 10 is going to be, and it would make a lovely tattoo. Yes.
I think he was just admiring your current tattoos, but yeah.
Looking at my actual tattoos.
That'd be one hell of a tattoo. That will take days to do.
But it would look amazing.
It would look amazing, and if you have this tattoo to yourself, we will say thank you and leave it as that, and not and we will pay Josie the art rights for you to have one person tattooing this to themselves.
But we're not paying for the tattoo.
No, we can't afford both.
So, one last thing before we move on to what got there is that the KFBL have set up their own site.
Ooh, what's the URL? I'll quickly pull it up.
Well, because I'm gonna bang it into the chat. So that's the KFPL news. They've also got the season 3 deck profiles on there and a season 3 tracker that they've set up, so you'll be able to track the progress of players from season 3. As we went through before, it is a 5-deck sealed 5-deck survival, which is going to be really interesting to see how it goes down and which ones are going to go through first.
Yeah,
we did mention it before, Jupiter, but we didn't mention that you'd gone and made your own new site now. But the site does look really good and done a lot of work onto it.
Is that, I've got it on the screen, I believe now.
I am nowhere near a pro coder, but Chris handles all the code. I'm just the ideas guy.
And I'm not a professional coder because 8 years ago I worked out I was too shit at it. So
don't you have like 3 patents for codes under your name?
I have 17 patents, but nothing. But coding's another conversation. I think I have like 17 software patents, something like that. More than one. We all need a hobby from time to time. But yeah, no, this looks great, and we're looking forward to KFPL going on. Is
Lithos Josie's partner? I believe so.
Is it Carlos? Awesome, welcome, Lithos. Great to see you here, and we are absolutely loving the art, man. For you and Josie, it's great. As
soon as Josie dropped it, I was like, "Can we get? I want a playmat version of that, please, because that will make amazing prizes." Yeah. Josie always knocks it out of the park. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, it's
I know KFPL got their resident artist in Ollie, but I'd recommend commissioning Josie to do some stuff in the future as well, because Josie and Carlos knock it out of the park. Season 3 is going to be best season, but I'd still put money that the Hamburger Luncheons are going to walk away with Jupiter's money again.
How much?
Oh, what? Well, you've then got to pick a team.
No. KOTE 10 mat. If Hamburger License win, you get the mat. If not, I get it.
Sounds fair.
So the odds are probably on me. 6 in the first, 3 in the second.
Not tonight, not if I can help it.
Well, how about we say if it's a European, you win it. If it's not a European, I win it.
No. What I think we should do is we're going to get the KOTE 10 mat anyway. So what we do is we get Jupiter to set up a side pool on KOTE on season 3, where people can go and people can pick a person from the lineup to back, first come first serve, and whoever is correct in the winning will be given a KOTE 10 playmat.
Yeah, we could do that. What do you think, Jupiter? Is that breaking it? Are you happy with that?
So basically, it's a potluck. You go in there, you pick a person who, because all the players in the KFPL season 3 are very strong. So basically, all you have to do is get Jupiter to get you to back your player, and it doesn't have to be first come first serve. You can literally be like have 3 people backing a single person, and it'll be chosen randomly from that person. Kind of like a fantasy football situation. You back a person. However you want to do it, Jupiter. One first come first serve, but I imagine there's a few people on that list that are going to be a lot more popular than others.
Yeah, we should do it that you pick 3 and you randomly pick the first one. If you don't get it, you randomly pick the second one.
That could work as well. You could pick 3 people and they're graded as a team, so their entirety of their wins and losses throughout their group stage.
I know. I just say you pick multiple and you get your first choice randomly. If not, you go to second choice to see that gets through randomly.
Okay.
And go on through that.
But anyway, I'm sure Jupiter will be able to workshop into a survival. That's very true. So I'd be down for it's not much extra for me to get an extra play mat chucked onto there. I mean, at the minute I'm ordering quite a few from these people, so they're quite happy to work with me. But yeah, I'll be happy to give a play mat to somebody who could correctly predict who's going to win KFPL Season 3. And if Not Tonight wants to back herself, that just means she walks away with money and a play mat.
Yeah, that seems fair. You can't. However, if you are backing the person that you're playing in the final, then it becomes null and void.
Yeah, but are you really going to throw the way to get the hundreds of dollars, to get the $500, to get a KOTE 10 playmat? You could probably give the person a couple of £100 to get the playmat.
Well, man, just think. Everyone has access to dollars. Only so many people are going to have access to these playmats. Think of how exclusive they're going to be.
This is true, but for $500, you could give Josie money for the art and make your own playmat.
Yeah, it's not the same, but you're right. You're right. Anyway, guys, let's jump onto the current standings, and I need to do some work on the back end of this when the results start coming in. But this is the current playoff for top stroke second cuts. So this has been more of a nightmare just trying to validate it all this time. So we've got Key Frogs versus Midwest Martians, Starship Looters versus Com Officer Dua, Starship Looters who are having a player change for the top cuts for the remainder of the event.
It is perfectly acceptable to see as they're having a baby.
No, that's a different team. Starship Looters, one of the players is going away from the internet access for the next few weeks, and so he is now out for the rest of the event. There is another team where some person might be having a baby, but I'm waiting for confirmation on that. They're playing Com Officer Dua, so that's Europe to East Asia. Then Hamburg Atlanteans 2 versus Rocket Boots, that will be entertaining. No Counterfacts Austria versus Madrid Archons. Zion's Crew versus ABR Young Despair.
This is going to be a very stressful week for the players.
Isn't every week when you get to this point?
Well, because not only have they got to play their game, but they've also got to test against the number one of another group.
Yeah.
Making the decisions, and it's going to be a load of issues. I'm backing Q. I think Q Folks are going to do really well, but I've already featured them.
So who are you going to pick this week for this group?
For this group, it's Madrid Archons and No Kang Fans in Austria. Just because I want to see Bandit in work. I've talked about Bandit quite a lot whenever I talk about the No Kang Fans in Austria, but I absolutely love Bandit. Bandit is one of the best AOA decks I've seen that isn't a Jenka deck, and I think if they get past this point, it's going to cause Sloppy Love a bit of issue.
Yep, no, I get that. So we have a couple of drops in the second playoff group which haven't fully processed yet. So we have Better Call KOTE versus Senseless, your Brain Games LE versus the Final Swindle, your Strange Gizmos versus Crazy Killing Aubergine. Then Not Tonight auto goes through, Keyforce Granada auto goes through, Brothers in Battle auto go through. Then you have Bay Witch versus Keyforge Fridays, and then you have both sides of this one have dropped, so that's going to be entertaining. That's bastards.
And for those who weren't here at the start when we were having all the issues, in KOTE 10, the Cut 2 will be renamed the Sloppy Lab Work Cut, as they will be sponsoring it with 9 decks for the winner and 3 decks for second place in the second cut. Meaning that more people are probably going to be less likely to drop because we now have prizes for second cut.
Yep, and it's going to be interesting to see.
Oh, definitely.
So let's jump to what the top cut currently looks like. And I currently only ignore the dates because Brett and no one else told me the dates were wrong and I realised it like 10 minutes ago. But they'll be fixed in a minute. Here we have the playoffs. So D20 Primus will be play the winners of Hamburg Lanterns 2 versus Rocket Boots, which is a little bit too close to Hamburg Lanterns 3 for my liking, but it was a nightmare to get this far. ABR Young Despair versus Science Team.
All 3 Hamburg Lanterns teams
potentially
are in a potential position to make the top cut, so it's not that they're always going to face each other quite early.
Well, without significant rearranging, which was just taking the piss. Then we have Sloppy Lab Work versus No Counterfacts Austria or Madrid Archons. So Salty versus Papa Bichev or If It Ain't Broke. Fellowship the Archons versus New York City or Klutchki. That's going to be a good game next week, in particular. See how the Fellowship Archons do when it's across the Atlantic. KIP versus D20 Merc or ABR All Paddy's Evil Twin.
Again, that's going to be a really good one because D20 Merc, we haven't really covered much of the Asian side, and we covered the Evil Triplets and their 3 Quicksilverstone decks. It's a really strong one.
Yep. Then we get Reapout versus Midwest Martians or Key Frogs. Which should that be?
I would see Reapout versus Key Frogs. That looks nasty, but I know Key Frogs are a pain when it comes to recordings.
And then you finally have Hamburger Lanterns versus Starship Looters or Com Officer Dura. So that's what the top cut's going to look like. It's going to be interesting.
At this moment in time, I might change for next week, but at this moment in time, I'm looking at Hamburger Lanterns 3 versus Young Bears or Zion Crew because we haven't covered either of those teams yet.
I thought we had done HA3, I thought.
No, HA3 is the only one we haven't done, and
okay.
They always refuse to be covered because the other 2 teams lost when they were covered.
Old Paddies are an ABR team, Jupiter, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the ABR Old Paddies Evil Triplets. We've got the 3 Quicksilverstone decks, and then we've got ABR Youngest Bears, which both Zion's Crew and ABR are both new teams, and Hamburger Luncheons a powerhouse, which is going to be quite interesting. Yeah. That's where I'll be kind of leaning at the minute because we've kind of covered everybody that's in this once,
which is a nice change.
Yeah,
but we'll see where we are. But the other 2 tables aren't yet populated here. I mean, we've got a little bit of the third cut, but I'm going to do some fiddling around, and we do have the opportunity now that we've got 2 more buys at the bottom that we could because both these games at the moment are a buy, do we then auto qualify another 2 teams instead?
How many teams do you have in the third cut? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So currently we'll look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going through from here. So that could work, 5 to 5. Or
if we just take the ones from the third cut and just populate the second cut.
I mean, the third cut's fine. No, I mean, the second playoff we can auto qualify 2 teams rather than having one of the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So that means 6 people go into here. So let's have a think and roll a dice later to work out which team that is. It'll be determined by if I have the dice still on my desk somewhere. I really should tidy my desk, but we will do something, make it as random as possible, so we can make it.
Also, Jupiter, that's not a joke. The Hamburger Luncheons are very good at the Digimon card game as well. They qualified for the nationals of that as well. So they're probably very good at Yu-Gi-Oh as well. The Hamburger Luncheons is very versatile card players.
Yeah, I've got an idea. 1 second. Let me just go into the inner sanctum. So, this is the stuff that none of you want to see. This is how we run everything. It's horrific. You should never run a website like this. Jupiter, don't run a website like this. It's easier to change things. I can't even see what I'm doing here. Right, so
I think Jupiter's just repressed the Hamburger Luncheons after they've taken so much of his money.
Well, it's not his money, it's community money, as he rightly said. So I'm just going to quickly update this with the buys. The buys, is that just those ones that I've added? Yeah. So what we then have here is we can move this buy to auto qualify one of these 4 teams.
Jupiter just pointed out that the first season was some of his money though.
Oh, my mistake. So I'm going to do this live on stream, so this can be seen as random. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to randomly paste these slot down here, and whichever one of these has the highest number that currently of the 4, can I do it directed to 4 cells, of these will automatically, they will both go through. I think this is the fairest way of doing this on stream, so I'm just going to make all this random. So there we go. The highest number is Centerless and Better Call KOTE have both auto qualified now. Congratulations to the second cup. So I think that was the fairest way of doing it.
Makes sense.
Oh, wait, sorry, I couldn't really see. So let me zoom in a little bit because it's not letting me bloody zoom in, is it? Bastards. Why wouldn't it let me zoom There we go. So what we've just done is we just did a random draw for these teams, and Centralist were back up there at the time. Centralist and Better Call KOTE had the highest number from the random number generator, which means Centralist and Better Call KOTE will both auto-qualify for the second cut, meaning Brothers in Battle, so meaning that we only actually have 3 games in playoff 2, and then we will have a total of 8 teams going through at the end. And they will go into the playoff 3. Why the hell did I think it was 5 before? And then this will go into this cut down here for cut 3. So, and that's all I think we have for this week. Is there anything else that you want to bring up?
No, particularly. This is quite a short stream because we couldn't get the gameplay working.
Yeah, well, it's the usual hour plus crashing and 45 minutes. So yeah, so let's end this here then, guys. And I need to go and get some work done behind the scenes for the playoff results. But thanks everyone for watching and sticking through us.
If it wasn't such a horrible heat and you hadn't been so busy today, and I haven't had the weekend from hell, self-isolating in a toddler's room, we probably would be up for doing more. But Ultimo has a question.
What was the question, Ultimo? I missed it. So team...
as the team in the bracket, we don't know which team we're up against in the next round. It's one of 2 teams. So does that mean we'll have to decide formats for both teams on Monday, or we will get a week? There will be no more week breaks. So you can, if you want, submit for both, or you can wait till the game's been played and submit for the one that's remaining. But it will only apply to the team that wins. So if we go back to yours here.
So, well, the other thing is we'll extend submission deadlines for formats till Tuesday lunchtime, so you have at least 24 hours.
So, for example, so I'll say, yeah, so the results will have to be in by midday on Monday. We will have the usual couple of hours extension if a team comes to us, but you can decide for both teams or you can wait. But yeah, Pampaka, Beecher, or if Groke, either one of them will be your opponents, and essentially what your job this week is, Ultimo, is to test out the system there. It gives you something to do for the week instead of just being on there, but instead of just waiting around, you've got some testing that you can do to get some games done. But yeah, then we know there won't be another week's break.
We want to finish at some point.
we have thought about doing merch shops in the past, Jupiter, but with the limited success of the first run we did, we thought to try and just keep everything a bit more exclusive, especially for when it comes to prizes.
But if you want to buy stuff, reach out to us. We'll link you up to Josie, and she will happily sell the art.
That's the other thing as well. When it comes to the art, we take you over to Josie charges you for the art, and then you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, and call Ultimate. That's great to hear. That's what we want to see. So let's end this today then, so I can go and get on and relax for a few minutes before I start coding again. And we can see you again next week with the...
We'll see you next week with KOTE 10 revealed.
Ooh.
Gameplay from the qualifiers. And the start of the KOTE 9 giveaway for the playmat and sleeves.
Oh god, yeah. Crap, forgot about that. Oh.
Yeah, you completely forgot about that one. I completely forgot about it to this point. We've got a spare KOTE 9. We've got a spare KOTE 9 playmat that I ordered, and additional sleeves that I ordered to make sure that we had enough for the KOTE 9 art to be given away to one of our Patreon or Twitch subscribers.
Yeah.
Last time we opened it up to everyone. This time we're going to be a little bit more exclusive because we had 130 odd people. This time we're going to try and limit it a bit more to that kind of situation. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Alright, but thanks everyone for watching, guys. We'll catch up with you next week, and thanks for Brett for covering me on Discord the last couple of weeks. It's been the same day job wise for me, and it's not going to get any better anytime soon. So see you all next week.
Alright, so next time I'm going to raid you over to the great Ziggy NY playing Storybook Brawl. Again, confirmed to be a staple game of Richard Garfield.